hardness of the turbocharger. First of all, the testers are familiar with the testing machine. And the control panel are positioned in the upper part. These are used to select and program different testing methods. So with the control panel, a microscope lens with a digital camera and an indexer. These filaments are connected to each other and rotate towards the required. It's also possible to select and exchange the inventor, so different methods of hardness testing can be used on the same testing machine. The support table can be adjusted in place, so the test piece can be positioned at the correct distance to the lens and the indenter. After becoming familiar with the machine, let's start the experiment. The principle of the Brinell hardness test is to press a hard spherical indenter with an exactly defined force onto the test piece, then evaluate the surface area. The tester selects a suitable spherical indenter and inserts it into the holding device of the testing machine. Next, he puts the turbocharger housing onto the support table, rotates the microscope lens at the vertical position, and adjusts the correct height of the test piece. After bringing the test piece surface into focus, he selects the exact spot where the hardness test is to be made. By pushing the start button, the hardness test procedure begins. The testing machine rotates the lens back to its resting position and places the spherical indenter carefully on the test piece. Gradually, at sharp speed, the test force rises to its specified value. After maintaining the test force for a certain time, the indenter automatically lifts off again and the microscope lens pans back to its former position. The indentation can now clearly be seen on the monitor. With the control knob, the tester places 4 measuring lines on the edges of the indentation to measure its diameter. That's it. The testing machine can now calculate the Brinell hardness. The hardness value is defined as test force F in the old unit kilovolt, divided by the area of the indentation A in square millimeters. The result is displayed on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and amounts to 250.
Here apply load is 1000 kg. That means pan it is a 250, another one another 500, that is the 250, once again 250, totally 750, and inbuilt, that is the inbuilt is containing a weight of 250. Totally the effective of 1000 kg is going to be acting onto the indenter. This is the indenter we are fixing the indenter knob. There is the indenter holder. The indenter we are using is the steel or carbide steel ball indenter we are using here. The diameter is 10 mm. For the different the diameter balls we are using for the different load we are going to use. But now we are using the 10 mm ball. That is the load we are applied. It is the 1000 kg with help of the weight pan. Then effective transformation of the load is transferred to the indenter. Then switch on the machine. Once switch on the machine, then raise the anvil with help of the anvil. Once it touches the indenter specimen, then I will set the minor rod, then I will rotate the anvil, then the smaller indicator will come slowly till it touches the red dot in smaller needle. The smaller needle in the smaller dial gauge, it touches the red dot, that means minor load, that is the 250 kg is acting on the specimen. Then slowly I will apply a load with the help of the load transfer lever. Then we give the dwell time for the 5 minutes till there is a big indicator which is going to be show the movement of the needle. Then it comes to the stagnant. It's going to be stable and stop at one particular point. Then until 5 minutes, depending upon the different material, we give the time. That is the dwell time. After the 5 to 10 minutes, it stops. Once it stops, we release the load. Then we take out the specimen. After 5 minutes, release the load. Then once again, in anti-clockwise rotation, we retract back the anvil, take the specimen and switch off the machine. Then there should be an indentation mark is appear onto the specimen. With the help of the chalk piece, we mark that one. One is the mark is takes place on the indentation. With the help of the traveling microscope, we take out the D1 value, diagonal 1, in other direction diagonal 2, then take the average value of that. Then with the help of the BHN formula, it is written here 2p divided by pi d into d minus square root of d square minus small d square. With the help of this formula, we find out the BHN number. Here, P is the applied load, that is the brass, we are applying 1000 kg. Then D is the diameter of the indenter, that is the 10 mm diameter steel ball indenter. Then small d is the average indentation diameter, it is appear onto the specimen, that is the indentation mark. With help of this formula, we find out the BHN number. For the different load, for the different material, for example, aluminum, we are applying load is 500. Brass, the intermediate material, the copper, brass and bronze, 1000 to 1500. And the hard material, cast iron and mild steel, we are applying load is 3000. With the help of this force and you repeat the procedure as like the brass material, we conduct the test once again. We do the experimentation.
This is a Bernal hardness test. So using this experiment, objective of aim of this experiment is to determine the Bernal hardness number of given aluminum and cast iron sample. Tools required are Bernal hardness testing machine, ball indenter and Bernal microscope. So procedure, there are 7 steps in the procedure. The first step is we have to fix the load and duration of application of the load. So here there are 4 different metals are given. So we are going to use first metal is ferrous. For ferrous, the corresponding load is 3000 kg and the time is 15 seconds. Time of load is 15 seconds. Again, we are going to use aluminum. For that the load is 1000 kg and the time is 15 seconds. So this for steel we use 3000 kg 15 seconds and aluminum 1000 kg and 15 seconds. This is a standard value. Next, this is a machine, Bernal hardness machine. Here we have a dial. Here we can for initial setting. And here we have to fix the workpiece. Above that we have the indenter. Here there is a wheel. By this elevating screw, by rotating the wheel, the workpiece can be moved upward and downward direction. If you rotate clockwise direction, it will move upward. If you rotate the wheel counterclockwise direction, it will move in the downward direction. Again, here we have the loading knob, unloading knob. When you rotate in clockwise direction, the load will be applied on the workpiece by the indenter, and if you unload it, it will be removed. Right. Next is you have to select the weight. Already I told you how much amount of weight is to be applied. So this is a place you got to apply the load. So for aluminum you have to apply 1000 kg, and after for steel you have to apply 3000 kg. So after that you have to press this button, then load will be applied. So it's a hydraulic system. Here this is a place we have to fix the workpiece. So by rotating the wheel, the screw can be moved upward, and the workpiece will come in contact with the indenter. So once the indenter is having the initial contact, here see, here there are, it's a big dial. Inside there is a small dial, and indicator is also there. Indicator also there. So when the initial setting is over, that can be confirmed by indicator, and the red spot has to coincide. The indicator has to reach the red spot. Then the setting is over. So now the initial setting is over. So after that, we have to apply the load. We have to apply the load. So this is a loading knob. You rotate clockwise direction, load will be applied, and you wait for 15 seconds. After 15 seconds, you remove the load. You remove the load. So now after load is removed, you take the workpiece, and this is a microscope. This is a Bernal microscope. You can, this purpose of the Bernal microscope is to measure the diameter of the indenter. So after indentation is formed, you use a microscope to find the diameter of the indentation. Diameter of the indentation. Already we know the diameter of the indenter. It is a 10 mm. So now you find the diameter of the indentation using this microscope. After that, you have to do the calculation. I got to do the calculation. This is area. This is a area of indentation. Area that can be calculated using this equation. Here, capital D is diameter of the indenter. How much it is? 10 millimeter. Diameter of the indentation. That you have to measure from the microscope. And you substitute all the values in millimeter. You substitute all the values in millimeter. So, substitute in millimeters. Similarly, the load you substitute in kg. So Bernal hardness number is load divided by area. Area you can substitute from here in millimeter. So this is Bernal hardness experiment. Bernal hardness experiment. This experiment also used to calculate the hardness of the metals. Hardness of the metals. In the Rockwell hardness, we have seen how to calculate hardness of a steel and aluminum. Steel and aluminum. So here also we are going to calculate hardness of a steel and aluminum alone. Steel and aluminum only. But the thing is, this is another procedure. That's all. As I told already, there are different scales are available for measuring temperature: degrees Celsius, Kelvin, Fahrenheit. Here also, this is another scale. That's all. Already we have seen Rockwell hardness. This is Bernal hardness. This is Bernal hardness. So here there is a set of procedures to calculate the hardness of a material. But there in Rockwell calculated based on we are using one indenter. Indenter has a dimension. When some force is applied on the workpiece, it creates a indentation. It is an indentation. So here hardness is, there is a equation to calculate the hardness. The equation is a function of indenter diameter and indentation diameter. So indenter has a diameter. When it is pressed against the workpiece, it will form a indentation that will have a diameter. So indenter diameters already we know the known dimension. So after it is pressed against workpiece, it will create an indentation. That dimension, that diameter, you have to calculate using a microscope. We have a microscope. See, this is a microscope, a small microscope. This is used to find diameter of the indentation. Diameter of the indentation. You keep the workpiece here. You keep the workpiece here, and you can view from this top, and that will give the dimension of the indentation. So now we have the dimension of the indentation and dimension of the indenter. By using these two, you will be able to find the hardness. You will be able to find the hardness. So that is this is a procedure. Almost the procedure is similar to the Rockwell hardness, almost similar. But the thing is, in the Rockwell hardness, the reading is directly given in the directly given. But here we are measuring the diameters and using the diameter we calculate the hardness. That's the only difference. Other than that, there is no much difference. But the value will be maybe different, but it has a some scale, that has another scale. So whenever if you want to compare a hardness of different material, you have to go for same scale. Yeah, Rockwell and Bernal cannot be compared. It cannot be compared. If you want to compare, you take the hardness of Bernal hardness for all material. You can compare. So it is a different scale. That's all. Now let us see how to do the experiment. So this is, as we saw earlier, this is aluminum piece. This is a aluminum piece. Sir, in the steel. This is aluminum piece, and this is a steel piece. So now we are going to conduct experiment on aluminum piece as well as steel piece. Right? First aluminum. So here there are the loading conditions, there are differences there. Here you are going to use same indenter. Indenter is going to be same for the two different material, and the loading condition is different. For aluminum we are going to use 1000 kg. Here you have to apply the load. Here you have to apply the load. We are going to apply 1000 kg. In case of steel we are going to apply 3000 kg. But in the previous case it was different, 100 and 150. But indenter were different. But here same indenter, but loading condition is different. For aluminum it is 1000, for steel it is 3000. So you have to follow just procedure. Now let us see how to do the experiment. Now here already 1000 kg is there. 500 kg is there. We have a 500 kg already. Now 250 kg we are going to put. This is 250 kg. This is 250 kg. So now 500 plus 250, it is 750. Again one more 250. One more 250 kg. So now totally 1000 kg. Totally 1000 kg. This is for aluminum. Now you on the this is operating by hydraulic. So you have to switch on the hydraulic mode. Yes. Now load is applied. It is hydraulic is on. Now he is fixing the specimen. See, so he is fixing the specimen. As you rotate the wheel, if you rotate the wheel, the specimen is going upward. He is selecting the place where there is no indentation. Now it is just it is touching it. You have to give the minor load. Why it is you have to, that is the initial setting. When he rotate the wheel, slowly it will go up. At the same time there is a dial. In the dial it has to show 0. Till then you rotate it. Is it okay? Okay. Now it is 0. So he was rotating the wheel. When if you rotate the wheel, the workpiece is going against the indenter. A minor load is acting. At that position, the indicator is showing 0. So initial setting is over now. Minor load is applied. Initial setting is okay. Now we have to apply the load. In the previous case, we applied in the Rockwell harness, we applied the load slowly. There is no time. But here there is a time setting. Load has to applied only 15 seconds. You switch on the timer, apply the load. Exactly at the 15 seconds, you stop it. You unload it. Right. Now he is going to apply the load. Now he is applying the load. Seeing the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Time is over. Now it is unloaded. Now you can release. Now experiment is over. Now he is releasing it.